single day. Should the Northport police let their dogs do this to a man that's no threat?
Please. Thank you.
No?
Bye.
Do you think it's fine? Okay, that means yes.
Yeah,
Talk to her. Talk to her.
Which one? Did you know that this guy right there that's doing steroids did this to a guy's arm?
Did what?
That guy right there that's doing steroids let his dog eat this guy's arm that was no threat.
How do you know he's on steroids?
He's on steroids. He's a
How do you
professional
know?
powerlifter.
How do you know that though?
Because
I've been around power lifters for
Okay.
I come out of Southern California with Arnold
wow.
Schwarzenegger.
You're from the beach? Venice?
How do you know if somebody's on steroids?
Normal people can't do what he's doing.
I know a little bit about
Right.
steroids.
Right.
Interesting.
Should Chad Walker be able to do that to somebody with his dog? Did you know the guy that's doing the demonstration right here, the giant guy doing steroids, did this to a guy that was on the ground that was no threat? Did you know they've paid out $1.4 million already in illegal dog bites? This one hasn't been paid for yet. I think it's worth $500,000. I just wanted to let you know, that's your tax money.
What's this sign for, man?
The big guy doing steroids let his dog illegally eat this guy that was on the ground that was no threat.
When that happened?
Actually about 2 years now ago already.
Was it?
Yeah. Did you know they already paid out $1.4 million in illegal dog bites?
Who did?
Northport.
They did?
Seriously. They kept letting their dogs eat people like it's awesome, and it's not.
Were they like criminals or something?
The guy was on the ground. He was not a threat. The video, just do a search on Google for Northport Dog Mall, and it'll come up on YouTube and Facebook. You'll see it. In fact, they knew that they were so wrong that they tried to delete the video on the guy's DVR for his house, and they just got it back. And guess what? It doesn't.
I'm not surprised they tried to delete it.
And guess what? It doesn't match the report. So should they be charged with? That's the dog that ate the guy right there, right back there.
Really?
Yes. Yeah. So the giant guy right there, Chad, who's doing steroids, that's the one right there. That dog did this damage.
How you know he's doing steroids?
Dude, he's a freaking power lifter, man. Nobody lifts what he does unless you're doing steroids.
I don't know. Maybe he's big. You never know.
What's that?
It could be the training that he got.
That's true. Why did you see what the he let his dog do?
I've been bit by dogs before.
Okay.
On my face.
That sucks, big time. So yeah, this guy was on the ground. He was not a threat, and he let his dog eat him anyways. They've paid out $1.4 million in dog malls already, and this hasn't even been paid for. I think this one's worth $500,000 to $1 million. What do you think?
Have you talked to the guy? The big
Yes,
guy?
yes, multiple times on video. Why, you want a card?
No, I don't want a card.
All right, you want a card?
No, thank you.
All right. So yes, we have talked to him multiple times.
What did he say?
He said if you break into a house, you deserve to have this happen. He can be the judge and the jury, and he can eat your arm on video.
The dog? Yeah.
Yeah, he said he can be the judge and the jury and let the dog eat. You know, before you go to court, he decides what your punishment is. That's kind of messed up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So. Okay, for the demonstration, are they going to pick somebody from the crowd that he's going to let eat, or does anybody know?
They don't do that for the demonstrations.
Oh, all right. Do they got a dummy or anything?
No, that's not part of the demonstration.
Oh, all right.
I think they're gonna have him do like agility stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
That'd be pretty cool. One time I set up an agility course for my dog and he actually did it. But I had to give him a treat to do it. Yeah.
Why?
That dog did this to a guy's arm. That was no threat.
Wow.
That's sad, right? So I'd keep the kids away from the dog personally. That's the dog that did it.
Yeah.
Yes. Did you see it? It's nasty, right? I know, especially when it was an illegal bite and they lied on the report. All right, can you get a picture of this one? Did you hear we got the video back? They lied on the report. They should be charged, right? Did you see what that dog did to somebody? This guy was on the crown, was not a threat. They let that cop and that dog did this to the guy's arm. He almost lost his arm. Oh, I know. I just want you to be aware of it. I just want you to know he's not a good cop. He lied on the report. He's a bad cop. That's what that dog did to the guy's arm. This guy was on the ground, was not a threat. They already beat him, tased him, sprayed him. And just for giggles, the guy doing the dog, I believe, is on steroids. He's 300 pounds and he's a power lifter. Yeah, let him do that. This has not been to court yet. They've already paid out 1.4 million. I think this is worth a $500,000 plus. What do you think?
Yeah.
He almost lost his arm. All this muscle right here is gone.
Hi.
Hello. Hello.
Come on, baby. You stay there. That's crazy.
It is. It is.
Sorry.
Nope.
Dutch. Can you say Dutch? Dutch. See, he's a canine. Look at that. He does tricks.
Hey, Charlotte County, this is Charlotte County Copwatch, and I'm going to do a screen read on this report, on this appalling video that they finally got back for Matthew Pullen in Northport. This sick cop, Chad Walker, Northport cop, let his dog eat Matt's arm. Absolutely excessive force, illegal. This guy should have been charged, never was. And when you watch the video, I want you to keep all this stuff in mind. I'm going to do a screen read, but I want you to know the charges. Battery on Leo, or firefighter. Resisting obstructing officer with violence. I hate that one. They can make up anything they want. Offense against a police dog. What the fuck would you do if a goddamn dog was trying to eat your arm off? Of course you're going to try to defend yourself. It is disgusting. So I have the screen read here. I just got the report. I haven't seen it in a long time. I've been fighting this one for a long time. But when you listen to the report and you watch the video, oh my God, these motherfuckers lied their ass off. They need to be sued to hell. By the way, they are still trying to get Matt on all these charges that I listed. Even though that the report does not match the video. We had a dash cam video of coming this way before. They tried to erase his DVR video of his cameras of his own house right here. And can you believe the public defendant got it back with forensics? It's insane. So that's Matt right there. And there he goes. Boom, on the ground. So I'm going to do a screen read. You watch the video and you're going to see these fucking cops lied their ass off. They need to be charged. They need to be put in jail. Matt, you needs to be paid, I'd say $500,000 to $1 million for this insanity nightmare of years. By the way, that's what his arm looked like. This is what his arm looks like now. He is disabled in this arm because they had to take so much meat. They almost had to take his whole arm off because the dog had weird ass germs in his mouth. Remember when our founding fathers said, take a goddamn country back before it's too late, and it's almost too late. You are a frog in a pot, and it is boiling. Wake the fuck up.
On October 16, 2017 at approximately 2,300 hours, I responded to the area of 21 Brancusi Avenue. In reference to an occupied burglary in progress call. The caller advised that, whom he identified only as Matt, broke into his house and is possibly on drugs. The caller continued to state, hurry up, get here. The subject Matt, who will herein be referred to as the defendant, was ultimately positively identified as Matthew Poulin. While the caller was on the phone with telecommunications, the defendant exited the caller's residence and went into the street. OFC Walker number 342 and OFC Bush number 258 initially made contact with the defendant in the street in front of this location. As OFC Walker was attempting to speak with the defendant began to laugh and walk away from OFC Walker. OFC Walker advised the defendant that he was being detained and that he could not leave. The defendant then turned around and shoved OFC Walker. At that time, OFC Walker was forced to take the defendant to the ground. The defendant began to resist OFC Walker by shoving OFC Walker in the chest, trying to escape. The struggle then ensued. OFC Bush yelled to OFC Walker to get off of the defendant so that he could deploy his department-issued C.E.W/taser. OFC Bush deployed his department-issued C.E.W, however it was ineffective in restraining the defendant. The defendant was continuously trying to escape from officers. The defendant also attempted to bite officers while squirming on the ground and pushing officers off of him. At that time, I arrived and noticed the defendant on the ground while OFC Bush was continuously giving him loud, verbal commands. Along with OFC Bush, I gave the defendant loud, verbal commands to roll over on his stomach and to place his hands behind his back. The defendant then replied, "Fuck you." At that time, OFC Bush and I approached the defendant to attempt to place him into handcuffs. The defendant was yelling, rolling around, and not responding to any verbal commands. At that time, OFC Walker left from the struggle and retrieved K9 Dutch from his patrol vehicle and brought Dutch to where the defendant was. OFC Walker gave verbal commands to Dutch to apprehend the defendant, which was successful. The Defendant attempted to choke Dutch in the process. The defendant was still shoving officers off of him and trying to get away by squirming around on the ground, not allowing himself to be handcuffed. The defendant was yelling and cursing throughout the incident. The defendant was trying kick officers and grab officer's hands. Eventually, the defendant was placed into handcuffs after a long struggle. While in handcuffs, the defendant was uncooperative with the fire department and would not answer their questions. After the defendant was transported to the hospital, SMHNP, the initial caller declined to pursue charges for the burglary of his residence and signed a complaint withdrawal. However, based on the aforementioned evidence, I find probable cause exists for the crimes of battery on a law enforcement officer, resisting/obstructing an officer with violence, and offense against a police dog. These crimes are described in F.S.S784.07, 2B, 843.01. 843.19, 3. These crimes did occur in the city of Northport, Sarasota County, Florida.
Hey Sheriff County, this is Sheriff County Copwatch. I am using any video here with under fair use if you have criticism, reporting, teaching, etc. And please donate. I do not make money from YouTube, and there are different ways to donate in the video links. Thanks.